hell, everyone's out of tune. Torion, here walkie on no free. I go on another way. Gashami Tramad. Josai Ko Hassan. I'm glad. Glad, pride your oath him glad, tramo anavi him of by, just tramis henyai and glad. Killer Whales! Sorry guys, I sing National Anthem. It was a little bit out of tune. I'm not gonna lie, it threw me off. But we are here for round number 10 for Intelligence Racing League here at Silverstone. We're getting ready for a fantastic race. I'm hoping for a lot of good weather. And we can see what's going to crack on. So, first things first, I'd like to apologise for having to sing the Welsh National Anthem. You know, my voice is not the best, but you know, sometimes you've got to sing it, especially when the rugby's on. But we will see what is going on as we got Spa, Holt, and Classy in the chat. How are you doing, guys? How are you doing? If one of you could share the stream in the chat, in Discord, that would be fantastic, because I got the rugby on. I'm not very good at multitasking. It's appropriate that we're here at Silverstone for a clash between... we're on lap 103, guys. We need quali. There we go. Looks a bit overcast, I'm not gonna lie. Island, island, standing tall, to shoulder. I got a lot of love for the Irish, not gonna lie. London Island, ever standing tall, shoulder to shoulder, answer island's call. Okay, I'm just bringing up the stream right now, guys. But we do have Daniel out on chat. So, to everyone in the stream, how are we doing? As can't really see the latest comments. As we've got Classy saying it's going to be a dry race. Okay, that's interesting. Very interesting. We got Daniel now coming through Margaret's and Beckett's. Let's turn the track map on and let's get everything sorted. So Daniel will be the first one to start his lap. He comes around the final corner to start his flying lap. We go on TV cam and he has actually invalidated it. Okay, so Baraka Cap is going to be the first one to set a valid lap time because Daniel has invalidated in turn 1, I'm suspecting. From what I understand, it is going to be a complete dry race. Which means strategy around here will be a relatively simple one stop. He goes for the old turn 1 cops, goes out wide and invalidates his lap. So who is next? We have the Mercedes of Callum. So we're going to stay on board with the Merc. He is purple in Sector 2, of course he is, as he is the only one on a valid lap time right now. So he comes through Stowe, and here he comes now into Club. Round the final corner. And it's going to be a 27.0. Sparhold goes with a 27.6. Raj with a 28.7. Jav on a 30.1, and Kiwan pops in with a 28.1 as well. Sorry guys, a little bit distracted right now. Island are on the 5 meter line. Now going to start as McCrew actually goes 4th for a 28.5 on the medium compound. So a good lap there from the Red Bull driver. Actually beating his teammate on a slower compound. As Aura Crafty pops it into P8 with a 29.1. Good lap there from Aura Crafty. Though he will be looking to improve to get up there with the big boys. Meanwhile, we do have Calvin Christian, who is on a lap. So we'll stay on board as he lifts off dramatically in Cops corner. The old turn 1 in Cops as he comes through Maggots and Beckett. This is not going to be any kind of improvement, I don't think so. We're going to go ahead and... yeah, he's a full second. 2 seconds down. Steve, not really improving. As actually, Philippe is purple in Sector 1, so we're going to stay on board with the Racing Point, which in 2021 will be rebranded as Aston Martin. So exciting times ahead if you are a Racing Point fan or an Aston Martin fan. As he comes through Maggots and Beckett's, keeping it tight as he just takes a little bit too much curb, and that has invalidated his lap. As Wakers pops in a 27.6, putting him up into 2nd place. So, the Williams of Baraka Cap. Can he make his way around the track without invalidating it this time? We hope so. He keeps it tight, trying to get a good run onto this straightaway right here. And here he goes into Brooklands and left field. Carrying a decent amount of speed there, mid-corner, which is what you really want to do. You want to carry as much speed as possible, as he is now on the run down to Copse Corner, the old turn 1. Looks for his turning point. Able to nail it. Danny gets out of the way as he comes through Maggots and Beckett. It's very easy to invalidate your lap here. And he'll know that he can gain a little bit of time there. His positioning wasn't perfect, as apparently he's still on the outlap, even though he did cross the line before I actually went on board with him. But we'll see what it says, because he is actually going for it. So we'll see what this time is as he comes around the final corner, and it's going to be a 27.7, a good lap there from the Williams man. So I'm going to go on board with Super Gamer, who has just started his flying lap. Super Gamer now through the old turn 1 of Copse, taking it in 8th gear, which is, I mean, personally I favour 7th gear there, but he just takes too much curve there through Maggots and Beckett, and that's an invalidation there from him. So Super Gamer will have to reset and go again. Daniel keeping it clean and tidy. He actually does go purple in sector 2, so what kind of lap time is this going to be for the man in the Alfa Romeo? So he keeps it tidy through Stowe into the club section, as Philippe has retired. So Philippe not going to be taking any part of this session, and I'm not sure what's happened there with Philippe as Daniel goes into second place, and I need to get on board with someone. It's going to be Raj. I can't. This is actually taking the mic. Okay, I'm going to stay on board with my crew to see what happened with Philippe, as his car just disappears from up ahead. So I'm not sure what's happened with him. Unfortunate about what happened with Philippe, as Daniel says in the chat. He had so much traffic in sector 1. Yes, I did see that. As my crew goes into second with a 27.0. But right now the man on provisional pole is the man in the Mercedes, and that is Callum 27. As I think Daniel and Sparholt are just communicating with themselves. Sparholt is going to actually get ready to start his lap. He is currently sitting in 5th place, so you would expect him to be able to improve on that time and maybe jump up into 4th, maybe even push in 3rd, or possibly challenging the likes of Macru and Callum at the front. So DRS wide open as we got a Haas who is off, and that is going to be Jord JT. as it looks like both of the Renaults trying to get out of the way of people on the flying lap. I can just see that on the mini-map, so trying to not get in the way of anyone, as Sparholt is 4 tenths up, so this will definitely put him in third place right now if he can keep it together through Stowe, and he's able to do so. And now what about the club section? Takes it absolutely lovely, and here he goes to the line. It's a 27-0. It gets him up into second. What a lap there from Sparholt, as we are now on board with Wurkhurst, the man in 5th place. Is he going to be able to respond to what Sparholt did? Keeping it nice and calm there from Wurkhurst. Gets on the curb slightly on the exit. That's going to compromise him. Very lucky to get away there without invalidating the lap, as Matty G has joined, but he'll have to start at the back of the grid. As Wurkhurst goes through Maggot and Beckett. He is just up on his time by just under a tenth. He does have a bit of traffic up ahead though, so hopefully he does not get impeded, as Baraka Cap pulls into the pits. As Wurkhurst coming around the final corner, he is out of ERS, so, and he does improve by a tenth, so if Wurkhurst can keep a hold of his ERS a bit better, he might be able to challenge the guys towards the front. Meanwhile, the guy who he is currently challenging for that 5th place, Daniel, as I didn't notice, but Super Gamer was on the lap ahead of these two, and he did pop in a 26.9 and push him up into second. So Wurkhurst does improve on his time, gets up into the same position where he was. As we are on board with Daniel, he said he had a lot of traffic, as Wurkhurst has taken a bit of a spin. But we go back on board with the man in the Alfa Romeo. Takes a bit of curb, gets fortunate with the fact that he does not get invalidated. He is a tenth and a half up, which will put him ahead of Wurkhurst. So let's see how he does in this final sector through Stowe. Lovely stuff. Now into Club and Vale. Around the final corner, and he does improve by just over a tenth and a half, and does jump ahead of Wurkhurst. The only man who was out on a flying lap was Judd, but he apparently is on a cooldown lap. However, he will be the first one to start a fresh lap, though. Here he goes now. Oh, he's just too focused on switching the RS. Wasn't able to get the best line out of the final corner. He does hit that sleeping policeman curb, which will compromise him, and he does take a bit too much curb there again. You want to stay off those the red bumps on the inside of the curb, because they'll just completely take you out. As we got Kieran, who is gone straight on at turn 3 into the gravel trap. He goes, and his teammate Jav has a bit of traffic to deal with, and it's in the form of, actually not, Jav is on a flying lap. Calvin is on a flying lap, but he's taken too much curb into Cobbs and he has invalidated his lap. Going to go on board with the man in the Ferrari, Max, as Weghorst has retired from the session. As Luke and Steve won't take no further part in this session either. As Super Gamer unable to make the line, as well as Jav. So session's over for those 4 drivers. As we got Max coming to the line right now, and we got... Oh, come on lads. As Max gets up into 7th, a good lap there from Max, and around the final corner Raj does improve, but not enough to move up any positions. Kieran's invalidated his lap. What is Callum doing? He is slightly up on his time, so we're still on board with Callum. And he does improve with a 26.7. Now, Sparholt has invalidated his lap, so he's not going to be able to improve. What about Daniel? Is he going to be able to get any more out of his lap? He improves by half a tenth, but it's not enough to gain him any positions. What about McCrew? McCrew goes on pole with a 26.4. What a lap from the Red Bull man. Unbelievable. Pinching pole position at the absolute death of qualifying. So the end of the qualifying results brings us to McCrew being on pole position with a 26.4, with Callum in second alongside him with a 26.7. Then we got Super Gamer, the only other man in the 26s, in third, Sparholt fourth, Daniel fifth, Weghorst in sixth, Max in seventh, Baraka Cap in eighth, Raj in ninth, J Luke in 10th, Calvin Christian 11th, Kieran in 12th, Jord JT in 13th, Steve 14th, Overcrafty 15th, Jav in 16th, and Philippe will be in 17th place, but Matty G joining late to the session, so he will be the man at the back of the grid. Meanwhile, guys, 16.5 minutes into the game, Wales 0, Ireland 0. But we are waiting now for these guys to get their strategies all sorted. It is going to be a dry race, so we'll see what that will entail, especially with the safety cars that are more likely to come out now. Okay, so let's check the tyres that everyone is on. So outside the top 10, Kieran, Jav and Matty G opting for the medium compound tyres. So that'll be interesting to see how these guys manage to keep up with the guys on the soft. However, it will be a simple one-stop, soft to mediums or mediums to soft. I can't imagine anyone touching the hard compound tyres, as Orcrafty has left the session. So he does have time to try and get back into the session, but He doesn't have a huge amount of time. So everyone in the chat, make your predictions now. Who do you think is going to win here at Silverstone for round number 10? Who's your money on? And of course, if you want to talk to me about the rugby, like, you know, I mean, I'm all ears. I had to mention the rugby, didn't I? Ireland with the first try of that particular game, as the guys on the grid now forming up, getting ready for 5 red lights. Okay, here we go now. 5 red lights. Lights out, and we are underway. And looks like a good start from Daniel, able to get past Sparhold as looking down the order as Super Gamer and Daniel making contact in turn. I think they got locked on in turn 1 and both went off, spearing off in turn 2. That is unfortunate for the man, as Philippe gets a 5-second and Baraka gets a 5-second penalty as well. Philippe making contact with Matty G as Baraka gets a 5-second for ignoring yellow flags. However, we do have a safety car. Now, will anyone make a pit stop? Let's have a look and see if everyone's got their front wings intact. Philippe does not have his front wing. So Philippe is the only one with wing damage right now. Heartbreaking for him. However, he will be able to serve his 5-second time penalty in the pit stops whilst he gets a wing change. So it's not all doom and gloom for him. Sparhold does duck into the pits. So lap 1 he is in. Philippe gets another 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And Orcrafty has joined the session. Hard tyres for Sparhold. And his teammate now is... His teammate's got to sit there for 5 seconds. Get a front wing change. And he'll be out in last place, but he will have another 5-second time penalty to serve later on in the race. It'll be interesting to hear Daniel and Super Gamer's views on the incident between those two in turn 2. Okay, so a couple more laps of safety car, and we didn't have to wait too long for one to show up. Now, these guys have to be careful. They do not want to get any more penalties for collisions under safety car. Sorry guys, there's not much commentary going on at the moment. We're under a safety car. I think we're going to have one more lap of safety car after this, but you know, while we're under safety car, you know, just keep an eye on the rugby. That's what I'm doing at the moment. As Raj and J. Luke are very close to each other. They need to be careful because if J. Luke decides to weave out of a corner and catches Raj out, that's a 5-second time penalty for Raj. As Super Gamer has left the session. Safety car is in this lap, so we are going to get ready to go racing once again, as McCrew is the one who will set the pace. But we're going to stay on board with Baraka, who has just dived straight into the pits. So he's followed the safety car in as contact with Callum and McCrew. And we are racing once again, and McCurse has lost it. He did not warm his tyres up. Heartbreak there for the man in the Toro Rosso as Callum's gone. As absolute carnage ensues under safety car. Callum has lost it somewhere and he has dropped down the order. And Max has managed to get himself up into second. So good job there from Max as McCrew momentarily dropped back into third. I think that was just a little bit of lag. But Kieran right now, actually, who has been the best when it comes to picking up the position? So, Kieran has jumped up 5 places, or Crafty, who is now back in his car, has jumped up 9 places, as we got Jod, who has gone off. We got Sparhold, who is down the order on the hard tyres. And Callum into the pits. As McCrew sets a fastest lap to be expected. As this is the first completion of an actual flying lap that we have here in this race. We're going to stay on board with this this 4-man battle. We're actually going to go on board with Raj as Luke is all over the back of Max. as Nightbot has just given given a warning to Daniel, as Lucas just got past Maxi. As Wales has just picked up a try. Things you love to see, ladies and gentlemen. As Max trying to follow with J. Luke, we're on board with Raj. Having a nice little view of this fight as Philippe has just managed to get past Steve for 10th place. Sorry, I just want to have a little peek at this try a sec. Oh, that's nice. That's a nice try there. Great job by the Welsh captain there to open the Irish defence up. So now we got Kieran on the back of this three-man chain. It looks like Luke is trying to just build a gap. However, DRS is going to close these guys back up slightly. As long as Max can keep with J. Luke in this second sector, he should be able to keep up with J. Luke at this point in the race at least. Is Max going to be close enough? I don't think so, as we have Java's. Looks like Max gets right up into the gearbox here of Lucas. We got Autocrafty making his way past Calvin Christian. Matty right behind them. The man who started from the back, as these two are side by side. And there goes a bit of front wing from someone, as J. Luke picks up a 3-second time penalty, and that is front wing off Matty's car. So Matty with half a front wing on the medium compound tyres. That's not going to be good for his chances here, as Raj is closing up on the Max. Unfortunately for him, Max also has DRS on Luke, and meanwhile, Kieran is right on the back of these two on a set of mediums. So when will the crossover point happen, when the mediums become the faster tyre? Who knows? Kieran does get past as Raj actually goes off. And did Calvin Christian just go straight into the back? Calvin Christian's gone. Did Raj coming back onto the track inadvertently take out Calvin? That might be something that does need to be taken a look at, because yeah, Calvin is right there on the apex. Did Raj come back onto the track dangerously, as we got another safety car? So everyone's into the pits and Raj picks up a 5-second time penalty, and Sparhold stays out on the hards. Now if that was me, I probably would have jumped in for a set of mediums to the end. As Calvin has left the session, so maybe we can get a word with Calvin in the chat if he is in the chat. Also, hopefully we can get a word from Daniel, because Daniel's comments did get deleted by Nightbot. As Steve, as did Steve just manage to get past Jav or? Ah, Island with a second try. It's all happening in the safety car, isn't it? There's penalties, there's front wing damage, and then there's Island scoring tries. As it looks like Callum's just making up positions and the safety car. I'm going to stay on board with Callum right now. We'll keep an eye on Callum. Just because he did Baraka tries to actually go past Callum, so maybe it was just Baraka trying to. Okay, right, I'm catching this on stream now. Baraka is trying to overtake under safety car. So I'm just gonna. Just gonna keep an eye on this for 2 seconds because there's a little bit of questionable stuff happening under the safety car right now. As Raj needs to not get so close. We'll go on board with the Red Bull of McCrew. Safety car is in this lap, so we're waiting on Sparhold to get us underway, and that's a lovely camera angle from Codemasters right there. As McCrew does get past his teammate, so apologise for missing that one. As Baraka picks up a 3-second time penalty for cutting turn 1 just a bit too much. Raj getting past, Raj being overtaken by Matty G, as McCurst gets overtaken by Jav. Meanwhile, Luke down the inside of Steve, which will turn to the outside of this corner. We're going to go on board with Steve. It's just no contest on those fresh mediums versus his slightly worn hards. And McCrew all over the back of Philippi, looks down the inside of Cop's corner, and he does get it done before Margaret and Beckett. So a lovely move there from McCrew. Callum and Baraka going side by side. As Matty does get past, gets past both of them, and actually Callum sneakily down the inside of Baraka into the penultimate corner. And stay on board with these two, as Luke does get past Philippe up ahead. So good job there from the man in the Williams. As it looks like Philippe is starting to struggle a little bit on those hard tyres. And McCrew is closing in on Sparhold. It is just over a second, but he is closing in. Oh! McCrew! He's in the wall! Oh, heartbreak for the Red Bull driver. He was on course for what could potentially be a race win. Absolute heartbreak there for him. And no safety car coming out this time, so that means that Ireland will not score a try. Thankfully. But Max and Kieran side by side. Max getting ahead as they come onto the pit straight. However, it looks like Kieran has got the bit between his teeth. I'm also trying to get past this Ferrari. Meanwhile, someone else who's got a bit between his teeth is Crafty, and Matty's going to be optimistic as well. Going down the inside of Kieran. So Kieran losing out in 2 positions right there. And actually 3, because Callum's going down his inside as well. Kieran being absolutely swamped at this moment in time, and look at the traction that Callum's able to get. He goes off into the gravel, which compromises his run, but the traction alone was enough to show the difference between the mediums to the hards. And there's 7 lap old mediums versus 4 lap hards. Oh, Callum's gone again. Callum has gone again. It is not working out there for the man in the Mercedes, as Steve gets overtaken by 3 guys through Stowe. Absolutely swamped by the guys behind. Crafty, Matty G, as Luke, he was already ahead of Philippe. I don't know why he's coming up with all this position changes. No positions have changed. We've got a yellow flag in sector 2, and that is for JT Jord. We are halfway through this race. We are at half distance. Oh, Matty G's lost it. Oh no, contact made with Kieran. And that is both of them with serious damage. Meanwhile, a lot of guys are able to make their way through with no issues. Baraka up into 6th place, Steve down into 7th, Raj getting up into 8th, and Wakurs on the back of him into 9th as Raj dives it down the inside of the Red Bull. Is he able to get that move done? He is. And Wakurs able to get past as well. And Kieran picks up a 5-second penalty and he retires in the pit lane. And Kieran's left the session as well, so he's obviously not very happy. As we have hit half time in the rugby, so I can focus more on the race. As Baraka, he is closing in on the Crafty, as Raj looks like he's gone for, yep, he's in the wall. Yeah, be careful, Raj, coming back on the track. Able to get himself going again. Baraka not able to get past Crafty, even though he does appear to have much better straight line speed than the man in the Mercedes. Look at the speed he takes through turn 1, as he's gonna send it into turn 2. No, he thinks better of it. Crafty able to hold it for now. But the closing speed that Williams has got, there's a reason why it's got rocket on the halo right there, because it is like a rocket in the straight. And apart from McCrew and Matty G, this is the closest battle we have on track. So I'm going to stay on board with this one, because it is technically for 4th, because they're both close enough to Max to challenge him. As Baraka just being patient, trying to get a good run out of Maggots and Beckett's now onto the main straight. Now let's see the overspeed that he does have. He is closing in rapidly, but not close enough to make a move. Right now, the thing that is saving Crafty is DRS from Max. As long as he keeps that, he should be pretty good. And it looks like he gets a much better run out of the final corner. He sets a new personal best lap, and he is all over the back of that Ferrari. As Crafty is lacking around a bit, so he might disconnect now. Crafty goes to the inside, gets shut off. So he is sticking to the back of that Ferrari, and Baraka is looking for any opportunity to try and get past. And look at the overspeed he has right here, down the inside into the old turn 1 of Cop's corner, and he loses the back end slightly, but he's able to save it. But they're going to be side by side into Maggots and Beckett's. Contact made, and Crafty able to keep it just about, but Baraka Cap gets past now into 5th place. Meanwhile, Sparhold, the man in first, he had some issues at the start, pitted early and was able to make those hard tyres work. As we got a yellow flag in sector 2 and 3, that is for Jord JT again, and Baraka looking for a nice exit. And look at the overspeed he actually has This is unbelievable. He must be winning 1-1 rings or something. The overspeed is insane. As Max is closing up with DRS, but not close enough. But he is very late on the brakes. It does kind of compromise him. So is Autocrafty going to be any closer? No, not quite. And much like what it was with Autocrafty earlier, Max having DRS on Baraka is saving him. As I believe Jod is off again. It's not been a good day for Haas. Here, you know, we got Matty G who missed qualifying. Starting at the back, he was in a very good position. He lost the back end because Jav and Raj having a bit of a battle, so you know, we'll go on board with that. Raj just losing the back end slightly on traction. Unable to get a good enough run. But he does get a much better run out of Maggots and Beckett's onto the hanger straight, and with DRS he is going to make the move, and Jav does not decide to put it back into the inside as Baraka gets another penalty, and McCrew is around. So I'm not sure what's happened there with McCrew, but around he goes as we do have another safety car. Now if I was Spa-Holt, a pit stop here for a fresh set of softs might be a good shout. Just because the likes of Callum, Matty G, McCrew, they've all gone for a set of softs and a new front wing there for the Red Bull. And Callum making the pit stop, but coming out on a set of 8-lap-old mediums, which is not what you want. Oh, Callum picks up a drive-through penalty for speeding as J. Luke is into the pits. Baraka is coming into the pits. Max is coming into the pits. Baraka gets a 5-second time penalty as we are getting a bit of glitching going around. Sorry for the spam, I was frustrated. What happened, Daniel? I just saw you and Super Gamer off at turn 2. I didn't actually see it as Callum has DNF'd. Is he DNF'd too? He's DNF'd, but hey, how have you managed that, Callum? Now this It's been a bad call there from both of the racing points, as well as Crafty and Steve. Every single person behind them is on fresh tyres. Some like J. Luke, Max were cursed, Jav, Raj, Matty G and McCrew on fresh softs. Baraka opting for a fresh set of mediums for some reason. Callum, what happened? Let me know. Yeah, I kind of saw that, Kieran. I mean, it was unfortunate because there was nothing you could do about it. But, you know, seeing a safety car come out now, I mean, there was always every chance that you could come back into the race. One safety car could bring you straight back into it. Super Gamer lost his back and was sideways on track, and I was right behind him. So I hit him and we both lost our tyres. Right, I thought you might have just got a tangle together and just both speared off into the right and binned it. The game doesn't tell me if the tyres are old. There is a way that you can actually tell whether they're old or new. When you're in your little MDF, what's called MDF menu, if it is pure yellow with the M in black, that means that they are worn. It does tell you, it's just, I mean, sometimes you gotta, you know, you gotta kind of be aware of it. And to be honest, I mean, mediums, my opinion, with the safety car, might not have been the best call, because the softs, they're not going to be too worn, because you have a couple of laps on the safety car. But yeah, there is a way to tell whether they're worn or not. Yeah, you should have went on softs. As we have the safety car coming in this lap, so Sparhold, Philippe, Crafty and ST5WE are going to be under some serious pressure because everyone behind them has made that pit stop. So I'm going to stay on board with Luke because Luke is going to start picking these guys off ASAP. As front wing damage here for Steve. Steve has front wing damage going into the back of Crafty, and Baraka gets a penalty as well as Matty G, and we are underway and racing once again. Now this is just going to be absolute. This is just going to be a lot of overtaking very quickly for Luke. And Max gets a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flag. So I wonder what that is all about. So Luke already getting past one roadblock as Baraka, who does have a good amount of penalties, so it'll be tricky for him to keep hold of a good points paying position. Yeah, he will probably drop a decent amount of positions as we have everyone behind him on fresh soft tyres. But he is going to try on Steve, but not quite there yet. But Curtis had a little peek down the inside, unable to make it work. Baraka, a straight line speed, not quite there, but look at the grip he has mid corner, able to get past Steve, as Luke also getting past Crafty, and Baraka gets past Steve, and Wakers getting past Max. Oh, Matty G just stuck his nose in there. That was not a great place to stick your nose in, and Matty has retired. Heartbreak there for the Haas boys, as Wakirst is now up into 6th place. Is on Max now to make that move on Steve, as Luke gets up into 2nd place. So all that is between that Williams is all that's in between that Williams and the top step of the podium is the Racing Point of Spa-Holt, who is on 21 lap old hards, as Steve gets overtaken by his teammate as well. Probably a bit of team orders going on there to just let him go, but an absolute calamity of a call there, and Rash is going to try around the outside, switches back to the inside, and he will get a better run, and he will have the better straight line speed, as McCrew getting past Max up ahead, as we can just see it on Raj's camera angle. And Max trying it around the outside of McCrew, as DRS has been enabled this lap, and Max just getting a little bit caught out there. Well, we're cursed all over the back of Baraka. Baraka will not have DRS on Crafty, so this is crucial. Wakirst needs to get this move done. Does not get the best of runs out. Baraka goes defensive very early, switches back to the racing line. Wakirst down the inside he goes. The room was left there for him, so he tries it around the outside. Little bit of contact, little bit of wheel banging, and Baraka able to hold the position for the time being. Meanwhile, Philippe has left the session, so that is just going to drop him down the order, as Luke is now all over the back of Spa-Holt. He is going to have DRS to make a move, and with that fresh set of softs, with Spa not making that pit stop and the safety car, it has left him very vulnerable, as behind we can see Philippe's AI just dropping loads of positions. We're Kurt's getting past Baraka, but we are focused on this fight for the lead of the race. As McCrew gets past Philippe's ghosted AI also, so it is unfortunate there what has happened with Philippe, as we're cursing over Crafty. Oh my god, his car's upside down. His car was upside down. We're not going to have a safety car because it is only 2 laps to go, but we're cursed. And Crafty, there was a car upside down. And here's the thing, right? If I remember correctly, Spa-Holt does have a penalty, and so does J. Luke. So this is all fair game between these two, and Baraka is going to lose the podium because he does have quite a lot of penalties. McCrew is on course for a podium here, and with Philippe's is Philippe back in his car? He does appear to be back in his car, so we'll assume he's there, as McCrew goes around the outside of Baraka Capi. Got it done on track. Now 6.6 seconds to catch up to the guys ahead as they start battling as they are on the final lap of this race. Sparholt, the man who is currently in the lead. J. Luke on fresher, softer tyres all over the back of him, and does have DRS. We're going to go on board as he is going to be close enough to send this around the outside. What's the grip going to be like? He's got the grip, and it looks like he has got the move done. So a good job there from J. Luke. He has got it done on the final lap, but will Sparholt come back at him in the main straight? Oh, he does take a lot of speed there through the old turn 1 Cops corner. I thought for a second that he was going a bit too fast and would have made contact. Baraka Cat picks up another penalty. Sparholt with DRS, not close enough to make a move, though he is trying to carry as much speed in the corners as he possibly can. He does run very wide and he backs off, I think, to show that he did not gain a huge amount of time, although we did catch it on stream. So J. Luke will win this race and McCrew will come in will come in third. Where will Baraka come as Max gets jumped by Raj? They both jump. Baraka, what about Jav and Steve? Steve does jump ahead of Baraka, but Jav I don't think does. So the man on the top step of the podium, J. Luke, he called the pit stop and the safety car absolutely perfect and was able to get past everyone in front of him on the worn tyres. So unbelievable. We had a fair few safety cars here today and quite a lot of talking points, but there is your race winner, J. Luke, with Sparholt in second. A good job there from him. A big recovery race for McCrew to get himself back up in the podium position. Raj in fourth, Max fifth, Steve in sixth. I think I said Max was sixth, but Max is fifth. Steve in sixth, Baraka seventh, Javin eighth, Philippe's, I don't know if his car, if he got back in his car, but is ninth. Then we got what, Cursed Or Crafty, Matty G, Jord, Callum, Kieran, Calvin, and who was the other one? Super Gamer and Daniel, who were our non-finishers here today. So that has been round number 10 for Intelligence Racing League. I have been your commentator for today. I have been Mike. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll catch you next week for, what is the next track? It is the German Grand Prix. So we will catch you then next week. Until then, guys. Oh, driver of the day. Just because he didn't get a penalty, I'll go with McCrew. Driver of the day, McCrew. He was backwards. Safety car did save him, however. But he didn't get a penalty, so he gets driver of the day from me. So, until next week, guys, for the German Grand Prix, been your commentator, I've Bryn Mike, and I'll catch you next time, because now I'm going to go and enjoy the rugby. So until then, guys, have a good one.